Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on top right side as the magenta Abbasid Dynasty, we have Kaiser, Johan. Spawn on bottom left side as the red Malians, we have Muhodo. Let's see now, Malians versus Abbasid. Malians, for the economic benefits, they do of course have access to the mining pit to get some extra resource generation, gold, which then they can turn that into cows. And then they get a good basis of free income. That's their primary economic benefits, plus do have access to total outposts for improved trade. So eventually they can get additional 8% times 5, which is 40, additional 40% gold, and potentially as well a 50% additional food of that 8% as well, due to a Muhodo landmark. The Abbasid Dynasty, they do have access to the Golden Age for economic benefits, giving plus, was to get 10 structures to get plus 50% of all resources, for the most powerful economic benefits in the entire game. Because it's free, it's cheap. Oh, it's free and cheap, that's the same thing. It is relatively cheap with the requirements. 10 structures, you're going to get a ton of structures either way. Get a little bit extra wood to get a lot of extra wood later on. And we do have the economic rating now being researched. When it comes to Feudal Age units, the Abbasid Dynasty, of course, can blow out the Chem Archer, a mounted archer that hits hard, especially it does bullet damage versus light melee, but it is relatively slow for a mount, awkward to use, and incredibly expensive. Versus the Malians, who have basically unique units for everything, barring the archer and siege units. So, let's see, if his opponent deploys out Archer, is a common tactic for the Abbasid, since composite bows are incredibly good in Castle Age. He can pull out Javelin Throwers. If he goes for Horseman, Donzo are a good item. We may see a mix of Javelin Thrower and Donzo, that would be my guess. You can always go for some archers as well to engage his opponent's archers. Donzo are slightly more expensive than Spearmen. They cost 90 rather than just 80, then extra wood. But they do also get one more melee armor and have Javelin Throw auto-cast ability. Both sides iron for eco upgrades. I see no military production buildings for either side. We got cows going up nice and early. And that's going to Age Tier 1. We got some doggies here. Keep those doggies rolling. Something somebody should do. They should take an AI generation, mimic the voice lines for these guys, and then take that and make it and sort of play it over and the same lyrics as that one country music song. I don't know what it's called. My dad listens to country. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Keep those doggies rolling. Just take that with the AI voice of the standard voice lines and play it like if some cows just walking in this game, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Only if I had time for it. You have fresh food stuff being researched now, which reduce the cost of villages by 35%. He also does have this research there. Fertile Crescent, I think it was called. Decreasing the cost of various economic buildings like by 25%, 35%. I can't figure out what's 50. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to do that math. Oh, it's 25%. The other towns that are going up here, so both sides iron from extra town centers. Let's just keep this pace going. Oh, I've been forgetting to do this as well. My apologies. Both sides are mass ecoing up, so since both players iron primarily to eco up to Castle Age, let's talk about what stuff they can blow on Castle Age. The Abbasid Dynasty can pull out the Gilam, and man-at-arms especially effective versus low hack armor units. Malians can deploy out the Musafati Warriors, does bonus damage against a light melee, which will be vulnerable to the Archer plays common with Abbasid, and has no low pierce armor, so it's also vulnerable to its units supposed to be countering, especially vulnerable. Sofas could be useful. Countered by Spearmen, could be hit by crossbows. Veteran Warrior Scouts get bonus damage versus range. A lot of moving parts, it's hard to estimate. The Malians have so many unique units, it's hard, I really don't know a lot of interactions to estimate, to say the least. Sofas are generally a staple in Malian play composition with imported armor. They get up to what, 7/7 armor in Castle Age? Yeah, I think that's about right. So they do get some good armor there. Now I got the Grand Final Corral, giving these cows additional 20 food collection. You know as well, the economic food collections does affect the cows in the cattle ranch. Does not affect the Grand Final Corral, but still improve their food collection. So if you want more food, still go for the food research. Got the military green not being researched in the field. Camel riders are going to be very effective if you want to go for mass sofas. Yeah. The more I look at it, it feels like the more the Malians get hard count about Abbasid, like the Mongols. Because the Abbasid Dynasty, their camels just make any horseplay just not really useful. And camels can get an absurd amount of armor like the sofas as well. I think in the end, they go off for all the reasons to get like +4/4 armor, so that they get up like 7/7 armor themselves in Pillar Age. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Abbasid player does go for mass camels. Seasoned archery ranges here, got some barracks as well. Phalanx can be very useful. If you see the normal archers there, deploying his own archers would be useful. Poison arrows poison arrows feel like they're okay. They don't provide any immediate upfront damage, which does cause some issues. But they can do some good damage in general A moves. Now the wheelbarrow now being researched as well. Both players now Castle Age. Sofas do receive a fighter. They do not have the imported armor. They're veteran sofas right now. And now we've got the free 2 camel riders, which will really hurt these sofas, making them do -20% damage, so they would go from 20 down to 16 damage. Additionally, they do bonus damage for cavalry as well. Right now, the Malians probably should just go out for mass Donzo Archer if we be ready to close out a large number of camels. We got some more research here. I've got an archer research. He's eyeing for mass number of archers. He's going for the composite bow line, basically. The Malian player mainly got some Magnell. Probably Magnell, Javelin Thrower, Archer, Donzo. Nothing flashy, but reliable Archer Spearman. Archers are going way too far. They're going to see some free damage there from the camels. Camels right now have no inherent pierce armor. Let's take out the scout there. Archer's pretty far. That says see the veteran spearman research there. Veteran archer has been researched as well. Sofas are getting hit hard by those force compositions. These sofas is hard counter right now. The camels and the spearmen. They do have some Musafati warriors when playing on the field. They do beat archers or spearmen in 1v1. They do cost the same 80, just cost gold rather than wood, which for Malians is not bad because they have the mining pits. Now this mining pit's buying 102. Let's see, he only has the 2 mining pits. It's going for a 3rd one in here now. 6 sites being captured by, or being decaptured by red. Red has, or magenta. Red has picked up 2 relics, which is very good. Sofas trying to move around. Sofas do +3 damage for the infantry. These archers will be quick claim and get us a good trap there. The Sofas do get their imported armor, going for more pierce armor now. Veteran Musafati warriors. It's 9 from the Musafati warriors. They're anti-heavy unit. He's going to start calling some pylons. Let's find some of these exposed villagers there. He's not really protecting them, so he's going to lose a number of villagers. Right now, Magenta does have 3 towns in his points. Just have the 1, so he does have a good amount of villagers. But a number of these villagers are going down. A significant number of them. The Silvers found an opening and they took it. And then took a lot of lives. Got some crossbows being pulled on the field. Crossbows will only be used versus sofas. I see the mass crossbows being pulled on the field, so maybe we're gonna not deploy out any more sofas. He's only a couple more. Over here, we have this force being pursued by sofas and Musfati warriors. Musfati warriors who have 110 health. They don't have any additional. These guys on the blacksmith research for them. Sofas will quickly go down this engagement. Is that all those units there? Right now, we got 46 and 46 military units. Red has a higher quality force, but some of Red's units just went down. Some of these Sofas still in the back line. 3 of them just went down right there. The Abbasid player does have 17 archers. Does he have composite? No, he doesn't have composite bowmen, nor the agriculture. He's not currently have farms in the field. It's a good economic upgrade as well, which helps him rival even English farms. So the English farms do have some good gold generation later on. This village is building some palisade walls here. Very nice. These forces are starting to push this way forward. It's better than Sofas trying to hit some of these villagers as well. Let's get some good hits down these villagers. Does take out a good number of them. Oh, those ones got withdrawn way too quickly, so we'll lose some extras. Those Spotty warriors, poison archers advancing forward. The Gilons will do some good damage for some of those Spotty warriors. I think the Spotty warriors are possibly for some Gilons. They have right now Gilons do, I think technically they do like 10 and then 10 again. That's 15 as a charge attack. Muhodo and Musfati warriors do 24 damage, minus the pierce armor. The health of the Gilons as well. Overall, I think the Musfati warriors are cost effective, but yet they won't win in 1v1 versus Gilons in general. So I probably need to double check the attack speed. Gilons do have 1.12 attack speed. Musfati warriors do attack a little bit slower. The Gilons right now have nearly twice the health. Oof. Maybe they don't trade cost effectively. We have some Mangonels not being pulled on the field. And this EMOM will go down. Red has killed off 41 villagers opponent, which will greatly even out this right there. And since we do have a good number of villagers on the field, let's take a look at the collection rate. Got all the basic economic text here. And I've got some here as well. Those right now, both players are in Castle Age, so they'll get more. No gold mine text here. He may be just relying on the mining pits for all of his gold. Yeah, he only has 7 villagers of gold. He's not really concerned about that. And relying on the cows for all of his food. He's collected a lot of wood. Good for archer-based composition. Yeah, maybe Mass Magano would be good for the Malians right now to engage the Gilons and all this force. But right now, I just feel like the Malians, they don't do well versus man-at-arms. Because it's just, the Sofa's simply just not high enough. Just can't get easily countered off by spearmen. So I think some Mangonels will probably be the item to engage those Gilons and other forces at the moment. Archers are good, of course, to the spearmen, of course, but sometimes in larger conflicts, it's hard to micro. Additionally, sometimes micro results in some overkill. Now the Abbasid Dynasty player just got his composite bowman, making his archers even more effective, so it seems like Mangonels is more and more likely the good item. So javelin throwers inside the Malian composition wouldn't hurt. They do hit harder, so making them actually reasonable for some man-armed variants. So mixing using some jab throws wouldn't be half bad. Mangonels do get some splash damage there, very good. Dynasty can, of course, has free improved engineers, so they can go ahead and get out some spring bolts immediately. Mangonels finds a decent small hit there, not really that decent. Going for now for those 2 spring golds. These are hitting those units, are building those units. Mangonels could actually hit the spring golds themselves. It's a nice hit there. Sofas, Miss Body Wars, against support. Archers getting some hits on some of the villagers. Oh, he's trying to go for conversion here. Focus the Imam. Imam's not poisoned. Does take out the Imam. Try to go for conversion there. Unsuccessful. Spring Gold is going to hit there. Spring Gold does take out the Mangonel. Or Mangonel does take out the Spring Gold. Now it's engaging. He's engaging close range. Just need to focus on those Archer Force there. Spear will be taken up by the Archers. Good hit there. Nice engagement. Red probably loses force, but Magenta's paying for it with quite a bit as well. He's focused on these Archers there, not the Gilams, the Archers. Gilams will have trouble versus the Sofas with the higher melee armor. They can get up to 7 melee armor, so those Gilams will do very little damage to the Sofas. We'll find some of these spare villagers. The villager count is quite similar, seeing the Malian has a lot of extra food resources. Though right now the Malian's food could be addressed. He is addressing it. We got good number of spring golds here. Opponents plant more spring golds as well, so spring gold versus spring golds. There's actually, it's good for both sides. They don't want to fight against Mangonels, except for constructing spring gold there. Magenta will lose his spring gold. Red and Mean just want to fall back to spring gold since he sees he's trying to do field deployment there, so he doesn't have to worry about a siege workshop. If he sees his opponent's force, he knows he's not building out any siege weapons, so keeping his spring golds back and safe. The next engagement could be a good idea. Imam here is trying to pick up that relic. Does not pick the relic there, but was misrallied. Spring golds just need to run away. The archers could stutter step away in order to get some good poison arrows, or just pick off spearmen. Possible is definitely much superior than poison arrows, in my opinion. Poison arrows, I'm just not a big fan of the poison arrows. Sure, it does get some good damage, but yeah, it's not alpha damage. A poison unit is still alive and they can still fight. The poison arrow is interesting, but just not that great. If it maybe also the poison arrow reduces movement speed, could be reasonable. Even then, I don't know. Maybe poison arrows, rather than doing damage over time, could allow giving like a +3 versus heavy attack. That could actually make Malians have a bit easier time to deal with opponents' heavy armor. That could be interesting. And granted, that is technically what it does, +3 damage over time, but more of an alpha strike damage versus damage over time. Right now, Magenta has 40 more villagers than his opponent. Little resource in reserve. Some gold in reserve. Plenty of gold. Now I've got a massive siege force. Oh, it's about how much siege I like to deploy out of the field. I love Mangonels. You don't need battering rams when we have this many Mangonels, because Mangonels do bonus damage to buildings. Someone's trying to get these villagers, finds them. Oh, decent hit there. Does take out the Mangonel on the back, or Spring on the back line. Spring on the front line will actually hold back the opponent. Mangonels finds a massive hit on Gilams. Archers now engaging, hitting some of the spearmen and villagers that are being passed on forward. Finds a massive hit in there as archers. Now these Sofas need to start hitting those crossbows. Mangonels fine. Not a great hit there with the amount of Mangonels he has in the field. He will lose the Mangonels, but his opponent's army has been decimated. And he does going back to the game now. Sometimes if you can't deal with the mass siege Magnos, you lose. This is Anne Great saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay.